that point, I thought it was a good thing. Because when you see videos of FGM and you see videos of honour killing and stuff like that, and these people have got brown skin and beards, you know, you're looking at it and thinking that's going to come to your country. You're seeing poppies get burnt on our streets. You're seeing extremism all over the media. So for me, we thought we was helping.
So when you first came to IDEO meetings, what did you think of them? What was your experience?
Well, I had a sense of happiness, like we're doing something about it. So it wasn't, but I didn't really think of consequence. I just thought, oh, look at this. This is these people understand what I went through. So it was relation. There's a lot of people that I stood and talked to, and they're related to what I went through. And so for me, in my head, I was just like, yeah, this is good. We're gonna stop this from happening to our kids or to our friends or family. So I looked at the 12 Pakistanis, the 15 Pakistanis that beat me up, and put it all onto the Pakistanis without even thinking.
Were you aware of the violence that sometimes was caused by the members of that group?
Well, it's funny you ask that, because the only violence I seen was when the Antifa turned up, to be honest. But that's the only violence I ever saw. Like just rowdy people. That's all I ever seen. Rowdy people and drunk and stuff like that. I think half of the people that I met didn't even know why we was there. If you ask questions, people couldn't answer the questions. So it was like some people were just there just to march. Some people was just there for the day out. And some of them, like me, I at that point I became addicted to cocaine and alcohol, which was a big part of my marching. It's like going out with the lads for football, and that's what it became like.
What did your family think of you being part of IDEO?
They didn't know. My family didn't know. My mum would have kicked me out of my house, to be honest with you. I once walked in with a UKIP banner, and she told me to get out. So my mum was brought up with like different ethnic backgrounds and that. So I couldn't tell. None of my family knew that I was going marching with the English Defence League. Like I wouldn't get any pictures. I wouldn't do any of that because my mum, because I'd have been chucked out. So they didn't know.
Was there any point where you started seeing any flaws within the organisation?
Yeah. But when I started asking questions, so 2 years in, so basically for 2 years I've just been going and doing, and then I've just started to ask questions like, what is the Quran, or who is this Muhammad you keep talking about, and and asking these questions, but I was just getting like backed off, like nah, nobody wanted to answer my questions. So I was like, I started to feel, am I doing it for the right reasons anymore? Is it even working after 2 years? We're not getting anywhere. We're just doing the same thing over and over again. I've never met someone who could explain what Islam was or Muslim was in that part, or what the difference is between the Quran and Quran and that is. I've never met someone like that. Even though I asked questions, but I never got an answer within the English Defence League or any of the people around it. When you ask questions like, well, there's how many million Muslims here and we're all still alive and stuff like that, then they people get funny with you, and you're like, well, so what? They can't be all Muslims can't be just bad. You know what I mean? And then you start asking these questions. That's when you actually get pushed out of the group. Actually, to be honest, you can feel that people are not looking at you the same.
Was there a moment which you would consider a turning point?
Yeah, there was a turning point in my life that actually led me to where I am today. So I left EDL, and then in my estate I went in to do some more. I went into more crime and stuff like that, which it's not good. But I ended up in a car crash. The car was going like 90 miles per hour, and it went into like 3 parked cars. But in that situation, I broke my leg. and I got like metal in my leg, and I was in hospital for like 3 months. I died twice in theatre, and when I got out of that, and then I was in bed for like 9 months at home, I ended up reading a book with 800 pages in it about the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, and I read the Quran and watched the videos. As much as I didn't want to be a Muslim, after many research, I believed in one creator, and I believed that the Prophet Muhammad and Jesus were prophets of their time. So I became Muslim in 2015, but I didn't tell anyone that I was going to become Muslim. So it was a shock to everyone, really, to be honest. All my friends, everyone. My mum, my dad, I didn't tell anybody. What happened was I became Muslim in the mosque, and somebody videoed it, and it went viral, and that's how everyone found out.
How did you feel the first time you walked into a mosque?
Anxious, scared. I'm going to be sat with people, extremists. Yeah, all sorts were going through my head. When I become Muslim, it's the first time I've ever been in a mosque. What I can remember anyway, and it was scary. I'm sitting with people that I don't know, but don't share the same culture as me. They don't share the same thought system as me. At that time I'm quite arrogant. I'm quite egoistic. I'm really my ego's massive. I just want to be a leader of everything. I don't want to be, humbled. I thought that Muslims who wore them white dresses, I thought that Muslims dressed like that was extremists, and there was jihadis. You're seeing people who was your enemy. But the thing is, when you believe in something, you have to go for it. You have to take it full-heartedly. You can't keep pretending to yourself like I was.
Do you think converting to Islam was in a way part of your healing journey, letting go of hate at the addiction you had?
Well, first of all, since I become Muslim, I forgive all them Pakistanis for the sake of God. Yeah, I forgive all the Pakistanis that ever hurt me and damaged me. That emotion's gone. Secondly, I had a really bad addiction with cocaine and alcohol, and in Islam, it's forbidden to drink alcohol, and it's forbidden to take any drugs. Which, when you become Muslim, you submit to the Creator, meaning you try to follow the teachings of the Creator. So coming off alcohol and drugs has helped me massively, and going forward, it's made me into a better person. I think better, and I do things better. Also, praying 5 times a day is also a good thing for my mentality. If I don't pray, then I struggle. But when I pray, everything seems to be in order.
When you look back at those years you spent at EDL, how do you feel about it now?
I don't regret anything, because it shaped who I am today. I'm a character builder, so every bit of my character is built from being in the English Defence League to what I am now. Is like, I look at the EDL and I think, well, look at the things that I've learnt from it, and one thing I take away from it is that I'll never go back to that, no matter what. I'll never hate people just for an emotional discourse that I've got. I think if people do have a problem, or they have an idea that Islam is a bad thing, is that they can come and speak to us. Speak to us directly. Speak to people, because when you speak to people who hate something, you're never going to get the answer that the actual answer is.